Melody, is this an okay time to talk about the fireplace scene that we've been discussing for New Year's Eve?
Yes.
Good. I'd like to get on the same page and make sure we've got a common understanding of what we're anticipating for the night. I've got 3 modalities in mind. I'll be using hair mousse, alcohol wands, and flash cotton. Those are the only modalities I'm thinking about doing. Let's talk about what sort of reactions you might expect from those modalities. I think there's a trivial amount of pain in terms of impact from the fire wands hitting. I'll be doing a little bit of spanking, a little bit of percussion with that. There will be some amount of pain, more than trivial, but less than excruciating.
Don't you judge my pain.
From fire, from flame, from heat, from having that right on you. And then, of course, there's the emotional component, probably bigger than all of the others put together. There's a certain amount of emotional rush from having heat and flame that close to you. Some people find that activating or even triggering, so I want to make sure you know that that's part of the equation as well. I'm anticipating a scene that's about 20 minutes in length. This is not tightly choreographed or scripted, so I can't promise it's going to be that long. My experience has been that if I get very excited and hyper in a scene, if anything, it'll go a lot shorter, not longer. So we could be talking about a scene that's all of 6 minutes long instead of 20, but...
It happens.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Very, very kind of you. I want to be very explicit that fireplay, in my mind, falls into the category of edge play, which is to say, even if we're both very attentive and very careful and we do all of the right things, nonetheless, accidents can happen, and if they happen in this context, things can go sideways really fast in a really dramatic fashion. So this is something that I try and approach with a high level of care and thoughtfulness. So let's run through some safety precautions. Any fabric in the space is going to be natural fiber fabric. We don't want to have polyester melting itself to us in a...
Napalm.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want that. I'll have an extinguisher on hand, a dry chemical extinguisher. We don't need any cold burns from the wrong kind of extinguisher. I'll have dry towel, I'll have damp towel. Neither of us need to worry particularly about setting hair on fire. I will ask about an hour before the scene that you take a shower and be careful, thoughtful about avoiding any kind of oils or lotions afterwards. Ordinarily, I would also...
After the shower. But
after the shower.
Thank you.
Ordinarily, I would also stress things like hair gel, mousse, any kind of hair product, but yeah, that's not really going to be much of a concern. And for the event itself, both of us need to be prepared to show up reasonably sober, clear-headed, in a good frame of mind, with our wits about us. While we're talking about safety, let's talk about safe words. I don't need to complicate things very much. I like the basic traffic signal safe words. Green is sort of implied and taken as a given when we start the scene. Yellow means don't proceed until we've communicated and we're on the same page about what's coming next. And red means we're fucking done. Scene over, tools down, done. Does that work okay for you? I will ask of you, to the extent that you can, be mindful of your startle reflex. I know that's not entirely under someone's voluntary control, but there will be big moments of whoosh and fire, and if your reaction to that is to flail in a big way, there are multiple ways in which that could go poorly. So to the extent that you can, try to be mindful about bodily reactions to big whooshes of flame. Does that all make sense? Does that all sound like stuff you're okay with, you're ready to sign up for?
Sure.
Awesome. Let's also talk about aftercare while we're at it. Specifically because this is fire play, do you have any asks or desires in terms of aftercare?
A little coconut oil would be cool.
Just to soothe
right.
affected skin?
And I want something warm to put on because you generally wipe me down with cold, wet rags.
It's a clean towel,
It is.
in my defense.
It is.
And I will see what I can do about making sure the water is warmer this time, so it's not such a cold shock to the system.
Yeah, because I probably won't be
Thank
flailing around during the fireplace, but when the ice cold towel touches me, it might.
I totally get that. Do you have any questions you want to ask? Do you have any concerns or issues you would like to raise?
The only issue I have is I have a new scar. I had surgery in October, and the scar is healed, but it's still very tender. So I would ask that you not put flash cotton on top of it, and if you are crossing it with hair mousse, I don't want you to light that more than 3 times. Because it starts to break down and hurts more.
Gets hotter.
Yeah, it gets
Sure.
hotter. So, crossing the scar with either mousse or flash cotton is fine. I don't know that I want any wand work right on top of the scar either.
Okay.
I have 3 fresh tattoos that are tiny little dots. We should probably not get that. They're so small, I don't know that you can avoid them, and they're not. But other than
Okay.
that, I have, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Those sound like things we can work
Okay.
with. I do imagine that I'll have mousse crossing the scar, but as you've asked, I think we can limit the number of lightings we do on that mousse. I don't think I'll have flash cotton crossing the scar at all. I can stay within an inch or so of the scar and have a pretty safe margin of error, and still do all the things I might want to do.
It'll just be a little off balance. It won't be dead center on my
Oh
body.
no, I can do symmetry. Au contraire, mon frère. I got some symmetry for you. Okay. Anything else?
Don't think so. I'm looking
Awesome.
forward to it.
Me too.
All right.
Thank you so much.